So today I have with me Desmond. Welcome, Desmond.
Hello, hi everyone.
Hi, thank you for giving us your time. Before we start, why don't you give us a quick introduction about yourself?
Okay, sure. Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Desmond. Thank you, Kelvin, for inviting me to come here to share with everyone. It's my great honor. I'm representing Great Eastern Financial Advisor. So I joined Great Eastern ever since August 2015. So it has been about close to 6 years already. Yes. Come to your surprise, I'm actually graduated from NTU Art Design and Media. So it's a total different industry from what I'm doing right now. Right after I graduated from NTU, so I work as an animator, doing animation, creating animation for preschool kids. After 4 years over there, I decided to give the leaps of faith. So eventually joined Great Eastern as a financial advisor.
You mentioned that you were working as an animator. Why did you change your career path from animator to become an insurance agent?
Initially, for me, the reason was rather simple. So I just want to learn about investment and learn about some financial knowledge. Back then, I wasn't a very good saver. I had study loan. I need to save up for all the future milestones. So after working for a few years, my bank saving was still quite pathetic. It's not everything about the income I get. I think more important is how I manage my finance. So there's no better job that you really come in and manage other people's finance that you can learn along the way, and you also can manage your own finance. After joining this industry, I get to see different stage of life. That's where I get to have a sense, a certain stage of life, right? What kind of financial status should have lah. So at least I can get to learn from a lot of people as well.
Here's a very important question. Did you call out your old friends to come and yam cha? And you surprise them with your insurance thing?
Yeah, that's $1 million question. Yes. So definitely I call a lot of people to yam cha. Okay. Definitely I yam a lot of cha, right? And coffee also, Milo also, yes. However, to me, one thing my mentor taught me, right, be yourself. So I don't want to let my friends have the impression that once I join this industry, I become someone very sneaky, someone always have a hidden agenda, this kind of thing. So I make it straight to the point. So if let's say I were to meet this person to talk about insurance or investment, right, I was upfront telling this person over the phone. But if let's say, of course, at some times I also need to take a rest. I can't be working for every day. So at times I also need to catch up with my friends leisurely. So I will tell them I just want to catch up. No business talking. Yeah, so I make it clear lah. Yeah.
What was the biggest misconception people have about you?
Usually people would think that, oh, this person call me, definitely want to talk about insurance or want to push me certain financial products. Or maybe how would one person, right, after long time never see, suddenly talk to you over Facebook and say, hey, how are you, bro? Right, this kind of thing, right? Hey, how about catch up over coffee, something like that. Because by nature, I'm a person who always like to hang out with friends or catch up with friends. It's just that maybe in my animator career, right, I start to focus too much in the industry. There are so many friends that I never get to catch up with them. So naturally, when I join this industry, I free up a lot of time. Although it would be good that if let's say eventually they do something with me, but by nature, I still want to catch up, like just friend catch up like that.
So besides your friends, what about your family? What do they think about you becoming an insurance agent?
I think my family members, especially my wife, was very, very supportive. Back then, I haven't married. So back then, my girlfriend even spend the weekend with me in library, just let me have the time to focus on my study, because coming to this industry, we have to take a few papers. I managed to pass every exam, every paper on one sitting. That's why I always very gratitude to my family member and my wife.
It seems like your friends and family are quite supportive of what you are doing.
Yeah, I think they are quite supportive. Yes, definitely.
Is being an insurance agent a good paying job? So let's say if I want to become an insurance agent right now, what's my expectation like?
First of all, I think you'll stay put as a YouTuber. I think if you say you come in, a lot of my business will be snatched by you. I would say insurance agent, or rather financial advisory job, right, is really, really rewarding, but it comes with price. Probably I can categorize into two different categories, two factors. One is from within and one is from the external. So from within, right, I think it's very, very important that to have this thing called drive and discipline. Because we don't have a fixed schedule. Every day, what time you want to wake up, what time you want to sleep is totally up to you. I do see people, because of this flexibility, last time when they have a 9 to 5 job, they are very, very hardworking. But when they suddenly exposed to this freedom, right, they suddenly feel very lost because there's no fixed schedule. Sometimes we may need to work until very late, and next day they cannot wake up, this kind of thing. Yeah, so another thing is whether you have the drive or not. Because right now I'm also coaching a team, about 10. When I coach them, right, they always tell me that if you give me appointment, definitely I can be very, very hardworking. But I always tell them, in this industry, right, it's not about what you do when you have appointment, what you do when you are meeting people. I think more important is what you do when you are not meeting people. All the background works, like for example, the research you do, whether you study all the product knowledge, or maybe some of the government policy, really go and understand them, or even what the research that you have prepared for yourself. When one day you really meet certain profile of customer, they ask you certain questions, are you able to give them a correct answer and make them more understanding about financial planning? So this is for the internal factors, okay, the drive and the discipline. But for the external one, right, I think will be more important if, let's say, you have a right mentor. For me, I think personally, I'm very lucky. So because when I come in, right, this team is very selfless. So whoever I walk to, right, they are okay to selflessly share with me what is their experience, what is their difficulties, kind of thing. So I can save a lot of trouble, making mistake. That is the few things that I think, if let's say one person think that they have all these factors, I think it's just a matter of time the person succeed in this industry.
I think it's also similar to YouTube. The more work you put in, the more rewarding it will be.
Definitely, yes.
As an insurance agent yourself, what kind of insurance plans do you personally have?
Wow, PDPA, this one. I believe when you ask me this question, it's just a reference. It's not really what I want, you also need to have. You get what I mean? Yeah, so it's always best to talk to your insurance agent or talk to your financial advisor to come up with something that's more catered to you. Okay, just for referencing, for me personally, right, I have ILP, investment policy. Okay, the one is more for protection. I also have a term plan to cover my mortgage. Of course, the basic one like hospitalization plan, personal accident plan, and of course, the newly launched Cash Shield. Investment wise, I have unit trust. Surprisingly, I also have this saving plan. Yes.
Okay, nice. Is it on purpose or is it you accidentally sign up?
I would say I signed up with a good intention. I signed this savings plan back then when I was in uni in NTU. So back then I wasn't very exposed to this information. So I thought, wow, by just saving like 30 plus $40 per month, then eventually I get what, 20,000, 30,000 value. As a student, I was thinking, wow, actually not bad, right? Then right after I joined this industry, I feel that actually not that good, huh?
I also noticed that you mentioned about ILP. So as you know, there are 50% of people who hate ILP and the other 50% are insurance agents like you.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Does ILP
I love ILP.
Oh, you love ILP. Okay.
Okay, I think a lot of people have misconception about ILP, but don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to convince any one of you to see the beauty of ILP. I think there's no best plan in the world. It's just about whether this plan suit you the best or another plan suit you the best. So for me, ILP is always insurance. It's not about investment. I heard about people saying buy term and invest the difference, invest the rest, right? I think that's a fantastic idea. But if let's say you buy the term and really invest the rest, you are doing great, right? But if let's say you only do the first part and you always procrastinate about the second part, then I think that's very bad. So I also met people who only review about their finance once a year, which is the day I review their insurance. They always don't know how to start about investment. So for these people, right, I rather they have a more consolidated portfolio before they decided to really go full force to make research or study about investment. At least at the back end, they already start something that's not so stretching already. The biggest beauty of ILP is about the flexibility. For example, if let's say a certain period of time, especially like last year, COVID happens, maybe some people lost their job, or maybe some people, their salary was cut half. Insurance is definitely the last thing you want to worry about. So if let's say you committed something, there's a regular commitment that you need to pay off. I think when it comes to this salary cut or salary adjustment, all these things, right, you probably want to cut off the insurance. So in that case, right, premium holiday can come in and help the person to tide over. And not only this, the person actually can dip into the investment value and see how much he need to utilize the money and draw out. Yeah, at the meantime, still keep the insurance coverage. For every plans to exists in this society, right, definitely there are some pros and cons about it. Yeah, so do always explore different opportunity.
So from what I gather, ILP is good for if you need the flexibility in
Definitely.
your insurance plan.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. But let's say if I have very limited money, what's the most basic insurance that I should get?
For me, I think it's always the hospitalization coverage because you can control how you live your lifestyle. But when it comes to hospitalization, right, you cannot predict how much the doctor going to charge you. It can't be possible that you go and negotiate with the doctor, hey, doctor, can I get a discount? Or doctors, can I take half of the medicine on me? This is the last thing we want to worry about.
There are some people who don't have insurance. Then what's your suggestion to them?
Just buy law. I believe you more refer to people who have pre-existing condition and not able to enter into policy contract, right? Insurance contract, right? Yeah. So for these people, right, I think very fortunate that we are in Singapore because government already have some insurance in place, even you never sign up. For example, dependent protection scheme, for example, MediShield Life, and another one is the CareShield Life, right? These are some of the policy that you will automatically enroll. So even if you never sign any insurance policy in your whole life, these are the three policy that you still have. When things happen, you'll still be covered. You don't have the luxury of choice to go to the wards you want or go to the medical center you want. At the minimally, you're still covered by some insurance, but it doesn't means that you shouldn't buy any insurance because when it comes to hospital bill, the last thing you want to worry is the bill size.
For people who are unable to buy insurance, what do you suggest that they do with their money?
So for example, if let's say those people who have pre-existing condition, right, like whole life insurance, critical illness plan, all these are the plans that will go through underwriting. So probably there will be a chance that they are not able to be insured. However, there are also some plans that is no need to go through underwriting one. For example, personal accident plan, for example, retirement plan. For insurance-wise, probably more limited options. But if let's say you already know that you cannot buy any insurance, I would suggest you speed up the process of creating your passive income. Because eventually, even we do a critical illness plan, right, the reason behind is to replace our income if let's say, unfortunately, fall sick. So if let's say you manage to reach up the gap, right, eventually you are well insured by your passive income also.
As an insurance agent yourself, you are also helping your clients to invest, right? So what kind of investments do you normally recommend?
I do a lot of unit trust. I can do ETF also, but I think I can value add my client more in unit trust. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against ETF. Just that because I think I can sell ETF doesn't mean that I have to sell ETF. The mechanism behind ETF is very straightforward, very simple. So there's no much contribution I can give. The most I can do is I recommend you to go this ETF or go that ETF. My contribution doesn't make the ETF outperform, right? This ETF and that ETF, likely in the end, right, the performance is the same. In order to pay me commission to recommend ETF for you, right, I think you can roughly just Google what is the best ETF and just go about it. Yeah, there's plenty of low-cost platform out there where you can tap into the market, and invest in a very, very cheap manner. Why would I recommend unit trust? Is because unit trust, there are so many different funds. Each fund has different benchmark. I collect your commission, right? So my job is to actually advise which funds actually can outperform benchmark and which funds has a potential higher returns in the future. Yeah, so it involves in like switching, monitoring, reviewing, this kind of thing. And different people may have different risks. So this unit trust is good for person A, it may not be good for person B. So there's a lot of things that I need to go through or come up with before I can recommend my customer. Yeah, so there's more works to be done. And of course, if let's say you do unit trust, I think the logic behind is always try to outperform the index.
What's your outlook on the market condition in the next 1 to 5 years?
I think the time in the market is more important than timing the market. So there's no best time to invest. It's more of when you're going to invest. Technically, a lot of people say that, no, wow, right now market is very, very high, or shouldn't enter, you should hold back, this kind of thing, you should save more bullets, everything. Technically, they are right. But those people say that we should keep on investing and don't care about the market. Technically, they are right also. So it's not about when you enter the market. I think the more important part is when you exit the market. You can enter at a very high price But if you exit at a higher price, you still earn. You can enter at a low price, but you exit even at an even lower price, you are dead also, right? I think the holding power is more important than timing the market. Warren Buffett say investment is a patient game. Transfer the wealth from impatient people to patient people. So be the patient people. That's why always people recommend to invest for long term.
Any comments about cryptocurrency? Do you personally invest in them?
Personally, I got tried a little bit. If let's say it's within your capability, you can go and try about it. If let's say you can truly understand the risk behind and you're comfortable with it, you can safely go ahead, right? But always don't put all the egg in one basket, because end of the day, right, like what I mentioned just now, is about the entry and the exit. So if let's say you are using the money is not spare cash, it's something you may need in the next 1 to 2 months, and you enter, yes, you may have the luck to earn money. If let's say cryptocurrency shoot up like 10-20% within one day or 2 days, you may have the luck. But what if it goes another way? You have the patience to hold until it come back. So if let's say this is something that you cannot lose, then better don't invest in kind of high risk instruments. Yeah, but ETF, unit trust, they are professional managing behind. So the risk is relatively lower. Yeah, that's why if let's say you want something that's less monitoring, these are the instruments that you can consider.
Okay, so we have come to the end of this interview.
Yeah.
Before we end, do you have anything you want to say to the viewers?
I think in life, right, be it in investment, insurance, or even considering joining this industry, right, it's always better to start early, because the learning curve is always there. You want to learn about investment, you want to learn how insurance works, you want to learn how to sell insurance. It doesn't mean that by procrastinating the journey, right, your barrier will become lower and lower. So if let's say you can overcome this barrier earlier, the rest is just enjoying the fruit already. So always start early. This is my suggestion.
Okay, so once again, Desmond, thank you for joining us in this interview. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Okay, see you.